Hey everybody, welcome to another interview with the Village Guy. This is the first one for 2022, and of course, how better to start it off with a super amazing guest. He doesn't need any introduction. He's been on every single newspaper, on every single internet media house. It's none other but Keegan Petersen.
Yun.
Yeah, so we have to give him a round of applause. Yeah, so he fortunately gave us some of his time. Let's chat to him a bit about, not the past 10 years because it's been a long journey for him. But I think over the past weeks, his life has probably changed tremendously. If those that don't know, I don't know if you're sleeping under a rock, but they played against India. And he just, I think one of the headlines was of KP is Petersen, the hero of SA's home victory against India. And one of the other headlines was 10 years on KP has well arrived on the international scene. Mr. Petersen, welcome.
Welkom,
Thank you
welkom.
for having me.
Yeah, how's life been?
Bit of a roller coaster, to be honest. Phone calls, interviews, all of this. But yeah, I'm still a bit starstruck. It hasn't really completely sunk in yet. But, can't really elaborate anymore.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so talk about phone calls. Like, who are the people that, like, give us some famous names that gave you phone calls and good wishes?
Can't think now. It's
Ik denk die grootste een was zeker IB een.
Yeah.
Die IB prijs wat IB
Yeah, the Twitter.
yeah, it's probably the biggest name in cricket is AB de Villiers, so it's just happy that he could mention or say something about me, and yeah.
Yeah, and phone calls? I mean, who did Cyril not call you?
No, I got a few phone calls from lots of people, Ashwell Prince and all of these guys, but just well wishes and yeah.
Cool, so take us back. So the first test of India, South Africa. Okay, everybody knows your history. You've been playing for 10 years. First test against India, South Africa loses, and then the second test, South Africa wins, and you perform amazingly in the first test. So give us that experience, and also it's like, isn't it the first senior against India that you were playing or not? Senior test match.
Oh yes.
So they give us that experience because
Ja,
of course
hoe
they,
die nerves op
they're like a cricket monster.
Want dit speel, sorry, dit speel amper soos ek vir my as sê, dit speel amper soos Ronaldo en Sokkas, soveel dit in Kohli.
Yeah.
Soos Ronaldo mos in cricket mos so.
Yeah, before the series when the team was announced and all, I woke up one night and I told my wife, I woke her up actually, like, I can't sleep. I'm just about to play against the biggest test nation in the world. I'm going to play against Virat Kohli. It's sharing a field with him, so it was a bit overwhelming, but nice in the same sense as well, knowing that I could potentially do something great here, and fortunately it did happen like that. The odds were always against us. I think they didn't believe that we could beat them. We were always the underdog going into the series, but we have a strong character in our captain in Dean, and that just rubbed off after the first test. It was a couple of harsh words, and we had to take it on the chin, and fortunately bounced back and to come win the next two test matches was amazing, and nobody thought we could do it.
Yeah, and I mean your contribution in that second test was also massive.
72.
Scored was the 72 one that you scored. Or
62.
What's going through the mind? Because of course this is, if you lose this one, you lose the series. So there's a lot of pressure on Keegan going in number 3. I think in the first half an hour. What's going through your mind? Because this is big cricket game now.
We were told that we have to put our personal things aside, and it was just for the team, so I didn't really think much. It was just doing what I had to do and try to do the best for the team, and that was the end goal.
So lifting up the bat for South Africa against India, the
3
first
times.
50, what's going, okay, you're on 49 maybe, and you're thinking, okay, I have to get this half century. Lifting up the bat, what's going through the mind?
Just overwhelming. It's overflow of emotion, to be honest, to get to the test half century, and I would have loved to score 100 as well, but it will come in due time. So in the first 50, I could just hear my wife in the crowd.
Oh, nice.
She went crazy, and I wish that my dad or my family could be there as well, because it's a proud moment. Everyone just wants to make their family proud.
Yeah.
You're not representing yourself, you representing a whole bunch of people, and that was all the emotions just came flowing through.
Yeah.
Die ding is by die dere toets wat spot hy né? Voor die toets staan sou het en as hy maar op die overnight, hoe voel sy om te ding nou môre van weer in gaan? Heb ek nog net 2 runs vir weer vir nog 'n 50 en dan moet ek nog 'n hele dag staan om die game te wen. Ja, hoe beperk of jy 'n heel aand kon sy geslaap het of?
I slept for 2 hours that night.
Sure.
It was a lot to take in, knowing that we needed 111 runs to win at the time.
Yeah.
And so we were on the brink of doing something brilliant, and I couldn't switch off at all. I didn't eat, I couldn't sleep. It was a lot, and I told Dean when we walked off, I'm like, I wish we had another hour or so to play so that we can get closer, because there was still the game was somehow still in the balance at the time, so they could win, we could win, so it was a lot to think about, and that 2 runs felt like it took me. That night felt like a year. Honestly, I wish I could just get those 2 runs before, because if I walk off on 50 already, it's less to think about.
Yeah.
So all the nervous, the tension, the everything, and they bowled brilliantly the next morning to me as well. I think it took me a few overs to get that 2 runs.
Yeah.
They were world-class bowling attack, so they didn't give you much.
Yeah.
I had to work hard for those 2 runs, but eventually I got it.
Yeah, because I see in one of the articles you also mentioned that this is probably the most challenging bowling attack you ever faced. There's what's his name? Shami and Bumrah. I know you also mentioned that somebody was bowling and you didn't even know where the ball was going to go. That's how fast he was bowling. But how was that experience?
Yeah, it's like I say, you starstruck because men sien dit nie goed op die TV.
Yeah.
You never thought that you play against them, and Bumrah and Shami and them, they've been around the block. They know what they do, so it was extremely challenging. Like you say, I did tell a few people it's the best bowling attack I've ever batted against.
Yeah.
Even in my first class career as well. So yeah, it was extremely challenging, and you had to be on your mark, because if you're not, they're going to expose you.
Yeah, because I saw there was the post-match photo of Dean Elgar, all the hits on the body. Did you also get a few hits?
Yeah, I wish I could show everyone because pot blow overall, so I've got it was like I was at war.
Yeah.
That's why I never bat with a chest guard, but in this series I had to, because
is it? Okay. But did they get you in the chest anyway?
No, they beat my stomach and everything, my legs, and it was zeer geweest.
Kyk, maar hulle volgende toets is met New Zealand en ek dink as 'n Boomerang vir semi kan face, en dan is van hy een van die 2 top bowlers van die wêreld, en so as dit nie vir hulle kan face, en dan ek dink sy moet veel compete in die beste om die beste te raak. So vir hom om in New Zealand te gaan speel, ek dink hy's well prepared.
Yeah. That's a that prepares you for a lot more, but every team has their own stars, and even New Zealand also have a world-class attack, and Bolt and all of those guys, so that's going to be a different challenge on its own.
Tell me something, Keegan. So you get player of the match after the 3rd match, and you get player of the series in the 3rd match. What does that mean to you as firstly, personally as a cricketer? Because you've had this 10-year journey. A lot of people on social media said it took you 10 years to get there. What does it mean for you from a professional cricketer, and also just personally? What's one of the achievements that you always wanted?
It's by far the biggest achievement I've got in my career, and it's just it's nice. I'm going to remember it for the rest of my life. The one series that you really want to do well is against one of arguably the biggest destination in the world. So this one's going to stick. It's going to take a while to forget. I don't think I ever will forget, but it will be in the memory bank for the rest of my life.
Yeah. Let's talk about the catch on the second ball. I mean, the second ball of
What
the
do you
day.
eat for breakfast?
Yeah, I saw the commentator. I think the previous ball, the first ball you weren't there, and then the second ball you were there. What happened there?
After it was actually my idea to have a fielder there.
Okay, cool.
Because I did tell Dean, I was at third slip at the time, and I told him maybe I've got a gut feeling here with a leg slip, and he thought about it for a second or two, and he's like, okay, go.
Yeah.
It's your call, go for
What?
it. And the next ball, it just came, ek het maar net gedink toe sit hy vas is. It's just one of those things. It's just,
Brilliant.
it doesn't happen every day, and I don't think it probably going to take a while for something like that to happen again. But
Yeah.
it's just one of those.
But I mean,
moments.
also, if you look at the 3 tests, I think you took 7 catches. So
7
you
catches,
actually,
yeah.
I remember when I played cricket, it was catches win matches. So I mean, 7 catches is a lot for a fielder, is it not?
Yes, it is. We practice this catching day in, day out with Aunties, our fielding coach, and all of it. So I think at Slip Gordon we've only dropped 1 catch since the West Indies.
Wow,
And
that's good.
We do pride ourselves on that. So we do put the hard yards in behind the scenes.
Yeah. And I mean, how's it to work with people
Yeah,
like
like
Justin
Sal-
Antang and Shah Langeveld? You've played with them. I will probably look up to them when they played Boland. I mean, remember, we also chatted about when they won and they were still sponsored by Cool or something back in the day. But now they're coaching you and they're guiding you. How's it to work with local
In
players
those-
in the
yeah.
national setup?
It was the all gold ball and back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fortunate to have come from a generation that I actually did have a chance to play with them. So it makes it just easier to work with these guys in that environment, because I know them personally from years ago when I played football and with them. That makes it easier to communicate with them. Well, they know me, I know them very well, they know my game. So Auntie might be our fielding coach, but he's brilliant. He's just got a brilliant cricket mind.
Yeah.
That makes it easy to speak to him about, because he knows my game too. So we're lucky, or I'm lucky in that sense, to be able to work with him.
Okay, but you of course don't deal a lot with Shaw because he's the bowling coach. So
Yeah.
you just probably just chat to each other off field.
Ja, is lekker om nou en dan net so 'n bietjie Afrikaans te praat met sulke manne. Ja, that's just they do a lot behind the scenes, and it can't go unnoticed.
Cool,
What's the
man.
next?
And then I want to also chat to you about the chirping on the field and the banting on the field. I saw it was like massive in this, especially the third test. But we don't really know what the people are saying.
Yeah,
So when you are batting and you're crossing over, what are the chirping? What are they doing on their
Jy moet
bat?
fokus bly nou.
Ja,
As
the
die
national
glip is
field.
heeltyd in die ore.
Half the time I don't even really hear it. It's just you try and block it out. But it was always going to be a series of sledging, because there's personal battles that go on in the field. So we are at war at that time. But you just try and block it out as much as you can. It's groot name wat met jou praat when you on the field.
Yeah.
And if you do get lost in that, it's gonna take a lot to get you back to focusing again. So I just try and block it out.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's the purpose of the chirping, so that they can
Ja,
take your mind off.
om jou uit die game te kry. En hy obvious hy was 'n big wicket gewees, so hulle sal hom nog eerder te op moes.
I weet nie regtig hoe my gechirp is,
Ja,
but
as
soos they was just yapping on the whole time to everyone, and especially I was battled with Dean quite a bit, so they're always gonna abuse Dean. Dean's just that kind of that personality is maar harde gat, and so he attracts that to it. It's fine, he deals with it very well.
Okay.
Out of the 350s, what is the most special one?
Definitely the last one.
Okay.
The
82.
82 that I got, because it's a match-winning contribution, and that means a lot to me. It's just I'm happy to have been able to contribute.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So what happens now? So you on holiday now? You're going to New Zealand. So are we keeping fit during this time? Do you have like a program you have to run up and down, show them that you're running up and down?
It's taking a bit of downtime with the family, so I'll get back into training when I get home to Durban.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
But just chilling for a bit now. I think I do deserve it.
Yeah.
I think my life maar bietjie rus, and I owe it to my family as well, because I'm away all the time, so I need to spend a bit of time with them.
Okay, and what are the tests going? What are the test series like for SA Cricket up until the end of December? Who are they playing, and Of course, you said you're going to New Zealand now.
Yeah, we got New Zealand away now, and then we come back from there straight into another series, Bangladesh, here at home, and then England away in June, July, and then end of the year Australia away.
Okay, so that's a special one.
Yeah, that's it's
Bangladesh.
145 from both ends all day. So
Yeah.
it's gonna be another challenge.
Tell me, Keegan, also, and then what's your, of course, your dad played a big role. I don't know, when we had an interview 3 years ago, you said there was one stage where your dad was throwing you 1,000 balls a day. Part of cricket things, so it just shows it didn't come easy. But yeah, when you got home, when you chatted to your dad, did he say,
You
don't go 70, you score 100? It was our parents are, they always want the best. What was the first like interaction with him when you got home?
He was upset with me actually.
Oh wow!
He didn't even watch the games anymore. He was like he's a nervous character when it comes to watching. I think he watched the last test and there was a bit of tears there.
Yeah.
I think I broke his shoulder over the years. He can't even throw me a ball anymore.
Yeah.
That's an arm afgegooid.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a massive motivation for me. I can't take for granted what he's done. He's been with me throughout my whole life, and it's one of my biggest supporters.
Yeah. But you like in the evening after innings, do you like have phone calls with your dad, or does he phone you and say, you have to change this and change that, or what do you like when you look at your mistakes of the innings? Do you go back and re-look at, or does someone tell you?
Yeah, I do a bit of analysing about my own game.
Okay.
My dad doesn't really want to intervene when it's in series cricket.
All right. Okay.
He lets it be. He will work on it afterwards when I get home or whatever it is. He tries to just let me be.
Okay. So, what are the big plans?
Nothing official yet. Planning on going to play a bit of county cricket over the English summer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So yeah, nothing official yet, but we'll see when the time comes.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so then this season we just have the tests, and you're not first play, you're not 20, and you're not ODI, so we're just going to New Zealand now for now.
Yeah.
Okay. And the franchise cricket for Durban, are you still playing for them?
Yes, I still play for the Dolphins.
Right.
It's supposed to be a game now on the 27th, but I don't know if we're allowed to play that because of COVID reasons.
Sorry, spelen nog steeds die 4 days.
4 days. The 4-day competition is still on now, and then I think next month there's a T20 competition, but we obviously won't be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Super cool. Another thing I wanted to ask you as well, from being outside the senior setup into the senior setup, what was the biggest eye opener for you? What was the one thing that surprised you a lot from being included in the setup now, on the seniors?
Yeah, they're extremely professional. It's a professional environment, so it gives your system a bit of a shock coming into that, because not everyone is like that. So to come into that environment, you have to step up. You have to step up your game, because otherwise they're gonna leave you behind. That's the one thing I've realized, is that I had to step up my game to be able to fit into the environment somehow.
And I mean, personally, like, do you also have to step up professionally? Because do they give you guidance when you step
Lifestyle
up?
things.
In the cloakroom, sal jy goedjies, like you always see in the rugby cloakrooms, almal se goedjies is mooi netjies, is like Keegan Petersen, jou naam daar, jou sak daar, everything is the same.
Yeah, we were a bit spoiled in that environment, to be honest, because everything is given to you on a silver platter. So, which is nice, because I mean it's part of the dream. It's
of course.
What you work hard to get to. So I'd be disappointed if it wasn't that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's all part and parcel of being a Protea.
Yeah. And then tell me, like when you go tea times and lunch, like I always wonder, you guys have gone so quickly. What do you eat? Is it like sushi?
Is dit net 'n broodjie of
what do you eat for lunch?
stukkies van spek of wat?
Biryani or something?
Yeah, it's a full spread. Like I say, they're spoiled. You get nice food, you get nice everything. There's sushi in the change room all day long.
Sushi, wow, nice.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even realize it anymore because you almost grow used to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they spoil us.
Of,
And then
nog een vraag. Als er nou soos lunchtimers in, soos maak bijvoorbeeld, dat nou jou oggend, soos, jy word nooit die foto uit stams en dan kom ze die next oggend, nou ze nog, staan ze nog weer, jou lichaam is een beetje tam, soos jy word nou net 2 ure geslapen, dan kom er bij lunch. En dan moet nou uit die magheid van, soos jy nou sê, dat niks eet die. Als daar iemand van veel zegt, wow, er is nog genoeg gegeten.
when you first back for you.
Of als het niet aan mij, dan...
Ja, mensen proberen ook maar net zo. Allemaal kijkers nou voor jou.
Ja.
Dan moet je je bord vol maken. Ja, soos I don't eat sushi. It's if you want my first parcel of iets there. But yeah, as you say, alles is daar. You can have as much as you want, but you always there's eyes on you, so you gotta behave in that sense.
Yeah. And do you have like any, what you call it, habits or secret things you tell yourself before, like you putting on, because I know, I don't know which one, I think it's AB or someone that has always put his right shoe on first before the, do you also have like rituals or do you listen to music before you go out?
Nah, I just have one ritual that I do. Like I have to put my left pad on first before I put my right pad on.
Okay.
Then if I don't do it, everything feels out of sync.
Oh,
and,
wow.
When I'm batting, I have my own ritual as well to calm myself down. Is I put my right foot down first, put my left foot down, and I'll have a slow tap. The first tap of the bat is a slow tap.
Ja, ik heb het
say,
gezien.
slow the game down to your level.
Voor die bowler?
Your pace, I mean, and then I'm ready.
Ja, ik heb het opgeleid voor die bowler aankomt, maar geen zoals... Ja, ik heb
I had to
het
stop the bowler a few times because they rush me and I don't feel right.
Oh, wow, that's interesting.
So it's just to calm myself down, really.
Yeah.
I have something written on my spikes also is breathe.
Oh, like at the top, so you can, when you're looking down, you look.
Yeah.
That is so cool, man.
You have to have some sort of normality during all the chaos, and that's what keeps me calm.
Yeah, yeah. And so of course on the cricket field, there's no spectators this time. But I'm sure on the like when you're zoning in, how do you cut out all the noise?
I don't know. It just happens. You almost try and I'm actually grateful that there was no crowd really because all of that would have maybe distracted me. Because I haven't really played in front of a packed house yet.
I think you said SAA you played in India once. Yeah, that was packed.
Yeah, the Indians they love cricket, so you understand that there's thousands of people every day. It was absolute chaos. I mean, you drive in with a bus, you get to the stadium, there's thousands of people just standing there to see you get out of the bus.
Yeah.
And they sit there the whole day. So I'm grateful that we haven't had crowd because I couldn't be distracted.
So New Zealand, alle cricketveld is altijd gepakt en dan alle koue druklijstens is nou baie ligter as ons en so New Zealand gaan jou eerste crowd is wat is nou?
Ja, het gaat mijn eerste crowd dus ik kan play in front of. But it's fine. It's okay. It's okay. You just have to find a way to keep yourself calm.
I wanted to ask you, how was your experience in Pakistan when you went there? How was that experience? Because I remember there was something like because I saw the footage that you guys were entouraged everywhere and there were tanks. I mean, what was that experience like?
Scary to be honest. I mean, what are they protecting us from? We have to all the security. So. It was a bit of a challenge. We were there for a month. I think.
I remember.
We only played 2 test matches, but we were there for a month. So it became a little tiring afterwards to have all the security, to have, we practicing and there's helicopters flying over us, there's guys, there's snipers on the roofs, there's, everywhere you go to, you have to walk with a soldier with rifles, and it's not nice to be around the whole time because, it's gonna scare you.
Yeah.
Jullie waren altijd met de AK-47 langs.
Yeah, and in the nets as well. Like when you walk with your bag, is everybody walking with you?
I'm batting in the net and there's 10 soldiers just outside the net with guns. And
no way.
Imagine maak net een keer 'n fout.
Ja. of sy laat die bal net te hard dan hy se gun skoot. Die begin uit te skiet.
Wow, that's fascinating. Yeah, okay, so one of the other questions is you currently are 5-day player, 5-day, 4-day. Any plans to transition over to
T20.
1-day to T20? I mean, if you look at IPL, it's massive nowadays.
Yeah, people do label me as a red ball batter or whatever, but I do want to play white ball cricket for South Africa as well, and if I do get the opportunity, yes, by all means. People think it is my choices to be a red ball cricketer. It's not. It's just if I get the opportunity, I'll take it. I can't say no to it.
Yeah, and also the physique and the body build, is that for 5-day cricket, or is it gonna go for first day?
Misschien een 6 lat of zo.
Are we gonna bulk up a bit?
I don't know. It's if like I say, if it happens, it happens. Mense dink ek kan nie 6 slaan nie. Ek gaan weer na base. But yeah, my body's fine. If I can last the longest format of cricket, then surely I must be okay.
Ek dink sy wil nog net in die game wees nie.
Ja.
Maak nie saak wat die format dit is.
Yeah, as hulle my kies sal ek speel.
And then also like when you reading, okay, you probably don't watch social media too much, but when you're reading all the great stuff all these cricket players are talking about you, so you have legends like A.B. de Villiers, Daryl Cullinan, Boucher all said like he was at loss for words in the press conference, and you, like, I want to know what's going through your head when you, like, working hard for 10 years, get the call up, make it happen, and then everybody's just like praising when the real KP, please stand up. But I mean, what's going, like, just emotionally, what's going through the head? Because this is like dream come true, ticking box type of thing.
It's yeah, I never. You watch these guys on TV growing up and all of them. So even just for them to speak to you is a privilege. It's like, I can't explain it. I can't put it into words. It's you starstruck because it's rock colors. It's Mark Boucher. It's childhood heroes that I'm actually working with now, and these guys actually back me. So I probably have to be okay. But yeah, it is nice. I mean, won't be the talk of the town for now, but it's gonna blow over eventually.
Justin Bieber van die Perel.
And then also, like, have you had any interactions? I know there were talks in media that Jacques Callas was also assisting you. Was there any interaction with him also? Was your batting?
No, I haven't really spoken to him in a while. It's just nice to know that, I mean, arguably one of the biggest batters to ever play the game is he backs me, and he backed me from day one.
Nice.
When he was still the consultant at the Proteas, and it's just nice to be able to interact with a legend and to pass on his knowledge to me somehow. It's nice.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So, except for your father that has played such an important role in your cricket career, people probably think now Keegan, like you say, is the flavour of the month. But it's of course coming along 10 years of very hard work. Who is that other person except your father that you think that assisted you to where you are now in the past 10 years?
I'm a very home-driven type of person, and I mean, it has to be everyone at Poland Cricket. They also back me. They gave me the opportunity 10 years ago to play for them. So there's lots of people behind the scenes. There's Omar Henry. There's Barney Mohammed, that was my coach way back in the day. So Andrew Wiley actually was my coach at Marty's as well. So it's all those guys. They played their part in backing me, and they always believed in me, and that's just a massive thank you to them for that.
Ja, kyk, sorry, nog nie 100 geskor vir Proteas, maar by die Dolphins was dit 'n regular ding vir jou om 100 te skoor, en dit was, hoe is dit? Ek weet die dag nog nie 100 by die Proteas, maar hoe kan ek sê, by die Dolphins, was dit easy vir die 100 of was dit net gemakkelijk? van altyd as ek sien KP 100 of amper 100.
I think like 2 in one match.
People don't actually know this, but I haven't scored 100 in over a year.
Okay, but you haven't played a lot.
Yeah, even for the Dolphins, the last time I scored 100 was the 1st game of the season last year. And so it's been eluding me. But it's okay. It will come eventually again. I don't really want to make a big thing of it because then I'm going to start thinking about it the whole time.
Yeah.
It's just, I've scored a lot of runs in franchise cricket, and I wouldn't say it's easier. It's a challenge on its own because I do always play against high quality cricketers. I mean, it's very professional, so they pay to do it. They have to be good.
Yeah. And then like lastly also, you did this 10 years, 28. What are you telling a 20-year-old that from school gets set up into a franchise or gets a franchise contract? Give that person a bit of advice, because we always see on social media what's happening with the youngsters. So you've experienced it now, you've been through franchise, you're in the senior setup. What's it like if one of them had to come ask you, give me some advice?
Trust the process. It's gonna take a while for you to get there, but don't give up on the dream. Everything you do now, you might not see the reward for it now, but eventually you will. So stick to your guns and work as hard as you can. It's a process. It's just not going to be given to you. So if you believe in your process and what you do every day does count, and not giving up on that, the dream will eventually come true. Because look at me, it took me 10 years, but it happened eventually. So stick to that process and you will get paid dividends in the near or far future. Some guys are luckier than others. They might be given some reward earlier, but don't give up on yourself.
Yeah. And then, I mean, did we get any like calls from sponsors? Like, Keegan, you can come fit your bag full of Puma gear, whatever gear yet?
No, I'm not really sponsored by any clothing things like that, but Adidas do send me a few things every now and then, and that's all thanks to my agent to organize all of that.
Okay.
But nothing yet. If someone can send me $1 million, it will be alright.
Dude, thanks so much for your time. Good luck. Hopefully the county thing kicks off. Are we taking our family with, or are we going alone?
Yes, I have to go take my wife with because it's going to be too long without seeing her. So I can't begin keren as ek te lang weg is.
Okay, cool. So I mean, good luck if that kicks off, and then just good luck with the rest of the season. I mean, you have a nice test against New Zealand coming, and then
gaat 'n besige jaar wees.
Yeah, and I hope the end of year Australia thing. Yeah, that's probably big for you.
Don't really want to think about it yet.
Because that's also probably a big dream for you. Like you play India, of course, anybody.
It's a bit of a headache. Like I said, it's 145 from both ends all day. So I'll cross that river when I get there.
Yeah, and I mean, just with this test series, I mean, you were facing what is Boomer having 142 kilometers per hour.
143.5.
I mean,
I dink hy was die vinnigste bal geweest, 143.5, something like that.
Ja, hy was 'n probleem geweest. I just had to take it on the chin and just move on.
Cool, dude. Thanks, man. But all the best.
No problem.
Thank you so much for what you're doing for SA Cricket and the youngsters.
En vir Pero, hy het 'n hele ander persepsie vir Pero gebring. Mense wat nog nooit 5 dae gekyk het, kyk nog 5 dae. Van hulle wil sien hoe bet Keegan.
Yeah, the other lady also came to me and said she doesn't know Keegan, maar sy skree nou van Keegan. But,
ek sien nou die dag hy Jonathan Robyn van die koortjies. Hy het ook gesê, hy sê hy kyk ook nooit cricket nie, maar toe wil hy ook nou sien waar gaan die KP besigheid in.
But thanks so much, dude.
No problem.
Yeah, all the best for the year.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.